war of Sarin history, and what better way to learn of that history than from those who have survived it? From Damon Baird, survivor of the Kilo Squad. Today we rejoin our journal of Damon Baird from the Kilo Squad with a lesson that we should all know, a lesson we should all learn. Today is his field scribblings of how to know your enemy. We see first that he doodled this ugly bastard himself, what looks to be a standard Locust drone in the Locust Army. We move to his identifications and classifications of different animals, species, and villains in the Locust Army. He starts with the sniper. Say what you will about the Locust, they have sparkling taste in eyewear. No doubt a nod to his own goggles. The Locust drone, Mr. Popular, the most frequently seen grub on the field. The Rager. Here, children, we see our friend, the Rager, in his more tranquil state, and just to the right of him is the enraged Rager. And here, the creature's alternate form. This is the one you should shoot immediately in the head. Finally, the grappler, holding a boom shot in what appears to be a lancer upon his back. This guy looks more or less like your average drone, but with a helmet and grappling hook that make him that much more annoying. Continuing on the next page, he has a mortar crew. I'm sure these grubs all have given names like "Yeah" or whatever, but I prefer to name them based on what they're holding. The Grenadier. Hard to hate this guy. I'm partial to shotguns and grenades myself. The Flame Grenadier. Those of you who have an attractive, healthy head of hair will also want to stay clear of this guy. The Massive Butcher. One look at his cleaver is enough to make you wonder what makes up the Locust diet. The Savage Boomer. Take a boomer, strip him of his civility and genteel attitude. This guy's much worse. The Cyclops. How one eye can make you a better shooter is something I don't quite follow, but then again, I'm not a Locust. The Mauler Elite. When you get tired of the regular Mauler and feel up for a challenge, this is the guy to call. The Regular Mauler. Not many redeeming features here. Loud, brutish, and settles arguments with a flail. We see the Cantus. Reports indicate that this famous Locust tenor has the ability to psych up the rest of his team with a cheer. The Theron. I'm not sure where the Locusts go to school, but these were the nerds. The Grinder. And these were the guys that beat up the nerds. The Boomer. And these ones beat up the teachers. Okay, I'll stop. Flame Boomer. I'd gladly pay to see boomers on ice, but instead, I get this. Perhaps that is foreshadowing of the cryo-cannon we see scions wielding nowadays. The Berserker. Reports indicate that these are the Locust females. At least I know I'm not the only one who's got a problem. The Former. We're hearing stories of humans infected with some kind of emulsion sickness. It can break a few different ways. None are worse than this, though. The Wretch. Imagine a monkey with the personality of a casino bouncer after you've been caught cheating. The Lambent Wretch. I like these guys. They're easy to spot. They blow up real pretty. The Nemesis. I'm hearing the grubs fire these things up to blot out the sky and fritz our comms. Can't say I'm a fan. The Shrieker. So I don't know how these things fly. They're probably filled with hot air, but if that was enough, most of our COs would be up there with them. Can't help it. The Reaver. Long legs, white teeth, ability to fly, not the angel I was expecting. The Serapede. I have no idea what the hell this thing is, nor do I ever want to see one again. The Bloodmount. Apparently these grubs have these dog horse things that they ride on, which, you know, is great for them. The Savage Ticker. Speaking of alluring, the Ticker is apparently a creature from the Hollow that the Locusts like to strap bombs to. Talk about looking out for your own. The Corpser. This one gets its name not from its ability to turn gears into corpses, but its ability to root around underground as if it might push something up. We continue his letter about the bully he once encountered and thwarted, and now the bully he faces in his present day. So, back to the beginning. I've been thinking about the Locust word, as they've got thick hides, rock dwellers. Thick hides mean more bullets required, but I figured none of that should matter much to an electrical system. Enough volts should toast a Locust no matter how thick the hide is. So I've been sneaking into the engineering lab in the barracks, the one that I'm, as an infantryman, am expressly forbidden from entering. It's an easy path from the bunks to the lab. I just have to pass by the mess hall and the officers' lounge. I didn't want to say anything before, but that's where I got the confirmation on Kinnerlake. You see his crude drawing of the base he now lives on. Where his barrack is, third from the left, and the route he must take, where he walks down the front of the mess hall as to not create suspicion, but as he gets to the officers' lounge, he must go about the back of the building as to try to prevent from being spotted entering the engineering lab, which he is expressly forbidden from entering. On the next page, we see 3 drawings of cog infantrymen helmets, oddly resembling the helmets of the Carmine family that we've all grown accustomed to seeing: Anthony, Benjamin, and Clayton. Anyway, once I get inside, it's safe. There are guards around, sure, but they walk in circles. They're easy to avoid. And I wait until they're away from the windows to do my welding. I borrowed some power supplies and a little bit of wire. The batteries these days are a hell of a lot smaller than the ones I had in my backpack, so whereas the unit that would have zapped Chomper's teeth back in place took up a good amount of real estate, my improved version is entirely handheld. Back to the training corridors. I'm sitting there looking down my sights, a human figure on the other end. I don't shoot. I turn to the next target. Another indie jerk also goes unshot. I can hear Iron Balls' voice saying something as I slide into cover next to Fat Owl and Janice. Fat Owl's all tense, but whether he's worried about shooting people or how bad he is at shooting people, I can't say. But Janice is calm, like he was born to do this. And suddenly I get nervous. I'm on his turf. I can't even tell you what came over me. I was sure right then and there that Janice was going to turn on both of us. Fat Owl can't shoot. I had purposely avoided shooting human-shaped targets. Something was about to go wrong. Right on cue, Janice looks over at me and says, "What the hell is around your neck?" Not what I expected. Not at all. I reach down and make contact with a pair of welding goggles. I had slipped them down there the night before while I was working on my little invention. Janice is talking again now. He recognizes the goggles for what they are. He's about to make the whole plan. Welding goggles, contraband, stolen by an enlisted man. So I gave him a taste of what I had intended for Chompers. Guy shut right up. I think I made the zap a little too heavy as he's passed out. He's fine, but he'll be on his back for a little while, and it looks like I'm changing companies. No one's quite sure what happened. Janice isn't talking, and I'm certainly not going to encourage him to do so. I can't bring the goggles back, so I guess I'll hang on to them for a while. Last stop is to see if this electric technique is any good at getting through those thick locust hides. If it doesn't work, I'm sure someone will think of something else. That's all for now. Bye-bye, Bravo. Part of the reason I'm going on so long is that we're going to deploy later today, and suddenly, this is the best way I can think of to spend my time. But hell, maybe I'll try leaving you wanting for even more. Damon. That will conclude today's video on Know Your Enemy, on the Locust troops that Baird has encountered, and how he came to wear those legendary welding goggles we have seen him with since the moment we laid eyes on him. Damon Baird seems to be getting into some trouble. He seems to have made at least one good friend, and has created a few enemies along his journey. Next time, we will be exploring another chapter of his fabled journey with Kilo Squad, his survivor field notes. If you like this content, please leave a like, comment, maybe even subscribe, and tell me what you do or do not like about this kind of content, and what you might see me want to do with Gears lore stories in the future. I'm Colin the Crow Clark. Thank you for joining us again. Have a great rest of your day.